Scorpio, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it, Scorpio. I hope that you're doing well today. I hope that things are moving well for you. We are in the throes of Aquarius season. We just had a new moon in Aquarius. It was positively aspected to Jupiter, which is all about fortune, abundance. The astrology is starting to balance out, not so much tension, limitation. So things are feeling good. We've had some planets go direct that were in retrograde. A lot of good things are happening, as you can tell. And we're really seeing this displayed in the astrology where, yes, there are still places of tension. There are still things that are kind of like rearing their head. But it's not unexpected stuff. It's stuff that we're dealing with. It's stuff that we have to learn lessons maybe on a deeper, more intrinsic level so that we can better push forward, better align with our ideal, right? Our ideal manifestations, how we want our life to look, etc. So yeah, some things are being provoked, but for the most part, I feel like there's a good handle on the energy, and we are still, and we're starting to see our hard work pay off. Again, very much well received. So being mindful, being patient still in the process. However, Mars is still in retrograde. It doesn't go direct till the end of the month. And there is still this need to not push forward too hastily, especially because of how it's tensely aspected to Black Moon Lilith, Chiron, and the fortune point. We really don't want to make any decisions that are too hasty or maybe get us involved into something that like we really don't want to be a part of down the line. That's why I like to start off with these energy cleansings. It sets the tone, set the vibe for the reading. It's also a good way to cleanse out some of that limitation we might be coming into. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you've come into this with something on your heart, on your mind, something that you would love Spirit to give you messages around. Definitely give that over and be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, at what's going on with you, or if you're looking more for like an rebalancing of your energy, your mind, your body, your soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic consultations. When we are operating out of a place of strength, that's really where we're connecting with and making choices that are directly in alignment with our fulfillment. That's really how we should be living life, right? So with that in mind, Scorpio, all that info is in the description box below. If you resonate, vibe with my energy, definitely hit me up. I would love to connect. I would love to support and help in whatever way possible. All right, let's get into it. Well, let me just do a little more. This like went wild for a second and then it tamed. It toned itself down. Maybe you're toning yourself down a little bit. Finding a little bit more balance. Not, you know, as I'm saying this, the air element is heightened right now in the astrology. So we're not getting as provoked on that emotional level. And with that air element, it's really allowing us to use our rationale to move through situations, look at things with a practical perspective and just say, you know what, I gotta diffuse the emotion and just do what's best for me in this time, in this moment. All right, let's get into it, Scorpio. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, that we may see and understand the messages clearly, and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, Mama Love. All right, Scorpio. So good things are happening, right? That's kind of the overall theme right now. And like I said, we can use our mind, our intellect, our wisdom to really navigate some of the harder things we might be coming into. A lot of this is around resistance to doing the work, or because there's a lot of limitation around opportunities, choices, things coming in. Yeah, 100%. It can feel overwhelming. It can feel like the devil. And there is this energy surrounding you that you have to kind of know what you're giving a little bit too much energy to, is what I'm hearing. Something that is not serving you, something that is not life supporting. It's actually inducing fear, anxiety, lack of worth, lack of value, all those things that we say in the energy cleansing. It's like provoking all of those quote unquote lower vibrational energies. And I feel like some of this stuff is directly related to you, but also some of this stuff has been enforced upon you. We're walking in with this Emperor energy, and it oftentimes, the Emperor is divine masculine, but it comes with a very rigid air. Oftentimes when people are in this Emperor energy, it can be very aggressive, very forceful, very manipulative. Someone who is trying to use manipulation and control to dictate how a situation goes, who's refusing to kind of find better ways to do things, you know? And I don't know, either you've taken a lot of responsibility on in this dynamic, like maybe you've trusted someone too much, or because they're always pointing the finger at you, you're kind of like, yeah, maybe it is me, maybe I am being whatever, X, Y, and Z. When in reality, it's someone who's just like not in control of themselves, and almost allowing, we've been seeing this in the astrology, but what I was going to say is allowing the emotions to overwhelm, dictate their reaction and their responses. I'll move a little slower. Like I said, the water element has been heightened in the astrology, so it's really easy to do. And the way things are gritting against our feelings, our emotions, it doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel comfortable. It's hurting our ego, our pride, especially when there are people, situations that to whatever capacity we've relied upon in the past, and it's just not showing up for us in a healthy and holistic way. This really feels like something that you're trying to break free from. And like I said, I mean, this could be a specific person or situation, but this can totally also be just a way of thinking, believing, living, patterning, etc. You have something that's on the forefront or in front of you, and I do feel like there are big decisions around this that need to be made. You're taking your time though. Like, I feel like you want to keep everything in order because you are keeping an eye on this devil. I do think you're experiencing it. I do think that this is very much something that is showing itself in your world, in your environment. I don't think you're necessarily participating in it because it does feel, like I said, that you're a little more stable. You know, Knight of Pentacles is known for being like pretty stubborn. Like, so uninterested in like doing something anyone else's way, you know, and that's kind of how your energy is coming up. Like, you're good, you're fine, you got what you need, and you're gonna do what you need to do in order to kind of navigate some of these hard decisions that you have to make. Someone is feeling a little worried. I mean, here's the thing. I think there's like a lot on the table is what I'm seeing, and something is worried about how this is going to all come out. 7 of Wands energy. We got that in Libra's reading as well. And it has the same tension in this reading, Scorpio, because it definitely feels like someone or something who's kind of, I don't know, like they feel like they have to do something that they really just don't want to do. They know it's going to be better off in the long run for everybody, but it's this refusal, right? It's this refusal of, I refuse to do it your way, or I refuse to find compromise. I refuse to work with you. I'm going to control and manipulate the situation until I'm done, you know, until I don't need to do that anymore. But it's up to someone else's control, right? And I think this has affected you a lot mentally, emotionally, physically. I do feel like it's taken a toll on your health, on your well-being. I feel like you've taken time to separate yourself, to nurture yourself and support yourself back into a place where you feel strong enough to do what you need to do. Here's the thing. I feel like this person is still trying to play games, and they're still trying to throw some options on the table. You are also doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing, but it's not well received. Yeah, it's not well received. Because this is someone who, I don't know, they're already afraid. They're already acting out of bad behavior. And I feel like you're adjusting or changing the narrative, trying to change the narrative around this, because you keep getting this negative reaction response and you don't want to deal with it anymore, right? So you're trying a different approach. You're trying to make or find some smoothness, some balance, some harmony in this dynamic where you can, even if it's not exactly what you want to do. You just know, like, I got to do this in order to kind of even this out. And as you do this, I feel like it is really helping you kind of lift some of the burden of these harder decisions. It's actually putting you in a place of power where you're working with all the information is what I'm seeing. It's like you're working with everything that you need at this point. And again, even though you feel a little bit bamboozled, like you've been kind of under this person, this situation's guise for quite some time, and it is a little bit difficult, because I do feel like it's like they're pulling you, like they've gotten you on a string almost, you know, they're pulling you this way and that, like tugging you every which direction, and it feels a little bit overwhelming, you know. But it's, I don't know, I think it's just like forcing you to shift your perspective. We see that with this Hanged Man, 4 of Wands. I think you're okay with what things are, because instead of reacting, or instead of kind of having this emotional response this week, Scorpio, you're really able to find your stability, your sense of peace and calm, even though this person is trying to throw things at you left and right. And here's the thing, they want to stop too, but they just can't. It's like they just can't help themselves is what I'm seeing. They're so guarded, they're so self-protected, they're so on the defensive that even if you're doing everything in your power to show kindness, goodness, whatever, like fresh start energy. They can't. They just can't. They can't, in part because it ruins their narrative about who and what you are. And it's also this thing that it means that then they have to, I love this, quell the myth. It's, to me, this is a lot about like, then they have to become responsible for what they've said and what they've done. And this is someone who just really doesn't want to do that, you know? They need the control. And it does look like they're starting to lose their grasp in this situation. They're feeling that. I feel like that's why they're getting angry and upset, etc. This is something you are cleansing out of your energy. And while maybe you're not seeing a lot of positive movement from them, like positive growth and being more mature, you're able to step into your power. And I feel like Spirit's really asking you to cleanse, release that need to learn this lesson again. You've learned it. You know what it is. Grow together, okay? Finding ways to, kind of disquiet the myth, right, is really just kind of seeing, knowing that, I mean, here's the thing, it sucks because it's like, sometimes no matter what you do, it's always going to be this way, but there's still a way for you to allow yourself peace and serenity through how you choose to grow, how you choose to handle the situation. That's giving you, allowing you to step in your power, that will be seen by those around that can clearly see and ultimately will work in your favor. Obviously, this is only the energy for the next week. So, to be continued, Scorpio. Thank you so much for your time, energy, especially if you've made it this far in the reading. I super appreciate you. Definitely drop comments below if you found messages that resonated. I'd love to hear or just connect, share, and a little love, a little TLC, because I so appreciate all the love, support that you bring to the channel. Know that I'm sending it back your way.